And hey, speaking of, you guys remember that rant I had from last time? Stop talking about Elden Ring. Well, you might have noticed, you might know, you might be aware that one of my 10 billion channels is a clips channel specifically for this podcast. The Cellarcast clips. You might have even had them recommended to you. I don't know. I started that channel because I realized that doing a doing a weekly podcast that averages like 2.5 hours, let's say 2 hours, is a lot for some people, and maybe it would just be more convenient. Like, there's plenty of podcasts that I consume largely just through clip format of like, here's just the parts that I'm interested in. Maybe I don't want to like sit through like a whole big long thing, or maybe I'm not interested enough to listen to everything that these people talk about. But hey, for like select subjects, I'll tune in. That kind of thing. It might just be more convenient for people, a little more approachable. So that's why I've been chopping up some select segments into clips that I think might be interesting from the podcast, and uploading them. And maybe it could be a way to funnel people towards listening to it. I don't know. Well, the success rate, the hit rate of the clips channel, it's spotty, It's spotty, but occasionally a clip will do a little bit better than the other ones. Occasionally it'll do a lot better. And we had an instance of that with the Elden Ring clip. It got like, I can look at it right now. It got 148 views. Wow. Now, all right. That seems cool. You're like, oh, cool! Wow, that got a little bit higher viewership than you usually get. There is a thing you might have seen. You might have seen this when someone will like make a tweet, and the tweet will get kind of popular, and then you'll see them follow up on it and say, "Hey, I'm locking down replies on that tweet because this went outside its intended audience." Maybe you can understand that intellectually, but you have to feel it. You have to feel it. Because I'm not going to say they were out in full force, but the Souls guys, there were some Souls guys in there saying things that I should be embarrassed by the government for having to read. Okay? I'd like to share it with you, so that you guys can understand how I'm oppressed. Here's my favorite one. Someone says, people are absolutely glazing Elden Ring right now, but this is 110%. I don't like the thing because it's popular. Which is just it's just a baffling take to have about that segment. Because if you recall, if you watched it and you actually bothered to listen to it, it was really just about how the discussion around Elden Ring was annoying to me as someone who wasn't into it. I actually made zero judgment. I made zero judgment statements about the game because, again, I haven't played it. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad. I have no clue. I don't think I would like it, which I said. In fact, this person saying that people are glazing the game, that they're overrating it, is actually more of a negative value statement than I made about the game in that entire segment. So I said, I'm so fascinated by how you listened to this whole segment and came away with that. And they reply, more like, I listened to half of your video where you just kind of aimlessly ramble, LOL. Anything for that engagement though, right? So there is like, okay, there is a real, if you've never had like an audience and you haven't made things for people and set things out into the wild, you probably don't know. You probably don't know the experience of I make something where I express some kind of idea. And maybe I make some sort of argument. And then I upload it. And then I see a comment from someone who has clearly not watched the video. They clearly have not watched even half of it. And they are responding to something that I never even said. Responding like they're specifically addressing me. And it's either something that, it's either a point that it's a point that I rebutted in the video itself, but they didn't know because they didn't watch it. Or it is something they have literally just made up. There is there is a really special kind of frustration from that comes from someone telling you you're wrong for saying something that they imagined. They just synthesized some imaginary argument that you made, and now they're gonna call you out on it. It is so frustrating. It is maddening. You might have heard other people talk about this who make YouTube videos. You might have heard about this, but oh my god, living through it, I should get hazard pay for having to deal with these kinds of people. Which is why I am really excited to introduce what I call the Cellarcast system. Not Cellarcast like this podcast, but cast like with an E at the end. Like a social cast, right? So here's the way that it works. Imagine a pyramid, and this represents the people in society as they relate to me and my channel, or channels. So at the very tippy top of the pyramid it's me. I'm actually floating above the pyramid. I'm like the sun. I'm the god emperor. Okay, I'm at the top. But the highest point that is achievable by a flesh and blood human being would be at the top of the cellar, the caste system, right? Is let's see, it would be like a $10 patron, sub to every channel, every single upload on all of them, comment, leaves good comments that are interesting and don't suck to read, hit that bell. And they tell everyone, they spread the word. Those people, they're in like the top echelon, right? That's the highest. That's what you can aspire to be, listener. You can aspire to be. I don't have a name for it yet. To be the peak, the peak of the Cellar experience, the Taigen Moon Cellar experience. Like you're getting, like I might even fly you out to my private island with like a weird temple on it that we can't talk about. Okay, that's what's in it for you. And then at the very bottom, the bottom of the barrel, the lowest rung on the ladder, is a guy who stumbled onto a Clips channel video and watched half of it and then left a comment about something that I never said. That guy's on the bottom. That's the untouchables. Everyone stay away from them. They have to ring. They have to wear cages on their heads and ring bells when they walk through town. Ka-ching, ka-ching, and everyone and they go inside. And we stay away from those people. People who don't even know about my channel are actually on a higher tier than them because they have a neutral effect to me. So this guy who commented, sorry buddy, but you're going to the bottom of the pyramid. All right, you're like a slave now, and I'm gonna have you build my next pyramid. Okay. That's what it's like. This is the end game of every single YouTuber, actually, is to be an authoritarian emperor. Is being an emperor inherently authoritarian? Not, is it? Not really. Not technically.